Broken hearts is going around all the time. It's like everybody's getting their own version of it. It's like COVID. So the first point I'm going to get to you today is to allow yourself to grieve. Hello there. Welcome to the pilot episode of Caravan of Love right here at City Star TV. My name is Anaya and I'm going to be your host for the show. Now, before we move on to today's discussion, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button for me right there. You see it right there beneath this video. Yes, please, and thank you very much for subscribing. So, on to today's discussion, today I'm going to be giving you tips on how to get over a heartbreak. It's sad that heartbreaks, broken hearts is going around all the time. It's like everybody's getting their own version of it. It's like COVID. People are passing it from one person to the other. A lot of broken hearts getting around. And I'm here today to talk to you about how to get over this heartbreak if you're experiencing it right now. So the first point I'm going to get to you today is to allow yourself to grieve. Now, usually when you get heartbroken, friends and family will be advising you, don't cry over your ex, he or she is not worth it. You don't need to cry over it, let it go. You deserve better and all that. But sometimes you need to grieve, and there are so many steps that comes during the grieving stages. There's so many stages of grieving, but you need to let yourself go through it all. And most of the times when you're doing this, it's not for the person you've lost. You're doing it for you. You're doing it for the person you were when you were in that relationship. Relationships, a whole lot goes into it. You make sacrifices, you make compromises, you lose bits and pieces of yourself sometimes to get to a point you can barely recognize who you become in the mirror. And all these things, imagine putting all these efforts, all this work into the relationship only to end up heartbroken. You need to grieve for you. You need to give yourself that time. You don't need to speed it up. You don't have to recover in a day or a week. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Give yourself time to heal. If you need to cry, cry it out, sweetheart. Just let the tears flow. Let it go and grieve. Then over to my next point. This is my point number two. Whilst you're grieving, know that recovering from a heartbreak, that is point number two, you're going to need a support system. You're not going to be able to do it all by yourself. Don't put it all on you. You're going through a lot. You're going through pain and you're remembering your lost efforts and all that. You need people that you're going to be able to rely on, the people you're going to be able to talk to. You need somebody you're going to be able to talk to, somebody who will be there for you. You can hang out with them, distract yourself, keep yourself occupied and all that. And you can't do that by yourself, because then you'll be feeling lonely and alone, and it's only going to make you feel sad and depressed. So you need a support system. But whilst you're using the support system and going out with these people, this brings me to my point number three. You need to avoid activities you did with your ex. So as you're hanging out with friends and family, those things that you used to do with your ex, maybe if you were going to the movies late in the evening with your ex, you do not do that with your friends and family. If the movie thing is your thing and you still want to be doing it with your friends and your family, then you can go to the cinema with them during the daytime. If that is something you did not do with your ex, if you love to go to the beach because you love to swim, maybe this time around try the poolside. Just try as much as possible to avoid the things that you used to do with your ex. Don't do them with the people that are helping you to recover. And even though I'm saying this, it's going to bring me to my point number four. Don't push down the thought of your ex. Don't push them down. Don't push them away. Sometimes in doing all these things, you remember how you guys used to hang out and how you guys used to have fun, and you're doing your thing, and the memory comes up, and it's like you're trying to push it down. Don't do that. You need to let it ball up. You need to grab a hold of it. You need to face it head on. Now, let me tell you why you need to do this. So it comes up this time around, and then you push it down. You don't deal with it. You put it aside. You've not faced it. Next time another thing is going to crop up, eventually you keep pushing down so much. One day it's all going to ball over, and then it will knock you off your feet, and you won't be able to deal with it. And then all the effort you've put in, you're just going to go back to the basics, like you never did the work in the first place. But listen, it comes up. You own up to it, you face it, you deal it head on. The next time another memory comes up, you've already reminisced before. It's a little easier, it hurts less. And eventually they just become memories like you recalling a movie you watched or something, and they don't come with all the emotions attached anymore. And even though you're not going to avoid thoughts of your ex and you're going to face them head on, this brings me to point number 5. Remember the bad times. I'm saying this because when you're as you keep having memories of the good times that is making you sad and miss your ex, it's good to remember the bad time, because then you actually begin to realize what you've lost. The way he used to scold you, the way she used to disrespect you in the presence of your friends. Did he really need to call you fat in the presence of his friends? Wasn't necessary. Did she really need to make that small, joke that imply that you weren't good in bed? All the things, all the bad things that they did to you that make you feel embarrassed and hurts at that moment, you need to remind yourself of all the negative things that were happening, that you had to tolerate, that you had to endure during the time you were in the relationship. And then remind yourself that now you don't have to put up with it anymore. And that is point number 5. Remind yourself of the bad times. Now, whilst you're doing this, sometimes it's good to also keep yourself busy, because it's not just about, being by yourself and having the memories come up, whether good or bad memories. So you need to pick up new hobbies, and you need a new routine, something to be doing on a daily basis. And that is point number 6. Get new routines. So now you have a whole like an empty space. The time that you used to be with your ex, now it's all for you. You just have that free time. So start something new. Pick up a hobby. Start a cooking show. Whatever thing that you do to keep yourself occupied, invest it into yourself. Do something fun and exciting over and over again, so much so it becomes a routine. So that's what you're going to do. This thing will keep you busy, it will keep you occupied, it will keep you invested in yourself, and it will definitely help you to take your mind off your ex. But as you're also doing this and picking up new routines and keeping yourself busy, another thing you need to note, that is point number 7, and my last point for this episode, is to cut off all ties with your ex. Cut it off completely. You don't need to keep your ex hanging around, be like, oh, after all, we have so much history together and we've been through a lot and we've come a long way. Honey, no. Yes, you've been through a lot. Yes, you've come a long way, but that person is your ex for a reason. You need to heal. You need to move on. And once you're doing that, you can't have that person in your life. Imagine this, you have the contact save, and he or she has your contact save, and they're posting fun statuses on their social media all the time. You're getting updates on their life. You would never move on, because you're always reminded of that person. You go onto your own social media and you're seeing feeds from their profiles, streaming on yours. And come on, that is so not healthy. You need to cut off all ties completely. Just let it go. Don't talk to him, don't talk to her, don't call her. Even if you messed up, just don't reach out at all. Give yourself time to heal, so much so that the next time you even hear of them or you even run into them, they'll be like, even if you will know that you know them and you guys have been through a lot or something, but all that emotion that was tied to it initially will just be gone. So cut off all ties. It is very important for you to do so. It is the most crucial part of the healing process, because imagine you're trying to remember the bad times and trying to face up the good memories and endure it. You're grieving, you're using your support system, you're trying new routines and all of this, but you're still keeping that ex around. You're really not going to move on. You're not moving on. You need to do this to heal. So that is 7 points for you, and I'm going to recap it. The first point is to give yourself time to grieve. The second is to remember that you can't do it on your own, so you need a support system. The third is to make sure that you avoid activities you used to do with your ex, whilst you're depending on your people. The fourth is to make sure that you don't push away thoughts of your ex that comes up from time to time. The fifth is to remind yourself of all the bad times that happen. The sixth is to pick up new routines to occupy your now free time that you're going to have all the time. And the seventh is to make sure that you cut off all ties with your ex completely. I hope you enjoyed this episode. My name is Nanaya and I'm your host, and I'll always come your way right here on City Star TV with a caravan full of love.